Well, folks, it's certainly been a while since I've done any work on the layout, so I figured today we'd do some of that. The goal is going to be connecting this piece of track right here, which eventually connects up to that freight yard over there, which we built in a previous video, to the main line of the layout, which is all of this right here. Because up until now, that freight yard has been completely isolated, which means no trains have ever run up the line. So roughly what I want to do is install this switch somewhere on this corner, probably here, and connect this one line up and somehow connect the existing line to it, because this radius is actually not the same. So we might have to do some interesting setup there, but overall I think it should be pretty simple. I don't know if it's going to be the permanent design, because I also want to build a line here, and I also don't really like having switches on corners, so it's really just to build something to try it out and see how it goes. It can always be changed in the future, but there's only one way to find out. So I think today we're going to do just that. But before we start working on the layout, I just want to talk to you all about this locomotive right here. Some of you may recognize it from a previous train show tour, but if you don't, I bought it to give away to one of you out there, and I'm pleased to say we now have a winner. So Midwest Rail fan, congratulations! This is now your locomotive. I'll try to get it shipped out as soon as possible. But until then, let's do some work on the layout. I'm going to start by tearing up this section of track. This will probably take less than a minute. So this is roughly what I was thinking we'd have to do, which is make this curve a little bit wider and then have it kind of come back. I'm not 100% sure if I like it yet, but we'll attach it and see how it goes. This part, however, though, I think is going to work out quite nicely. I've got this piece of flex track which should link it up well. Just trim that up, and yeah, once it's all glued down, I'm going to be really curious to see how everything performs going through both these lines. I think that is all looking decent. It's probably a good time to test this all out, but I'm going to have to find a locomotive which is good for testing corners. Well, we passed that test. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Well, I got this section of track all complete. I also quickly soldered it all up off camera, so I think this is ready for a test. We'll grab a freight train and we'll see if we can make it all the way into the yard over there. Well, right on. It went right through without a single problem. Probably run it through a few more times just to be sure of that, but I've got to say, that's a lot better than I was expecting. Well, a small freight train is really no surprise, but what about the biggest steam locomotive in my collection? Let's see how this does. It's not really too surprising that didn't work out so well. It's better than I expected still. Alright, so apparently the track work can handle about an SD40-2. Well, folks, I think that's going to be about it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm overall pretty happy with how this all turned out. It seems to function decently. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not 100% sure if this is exactly how I want to leave it, but this will at least give me a better feel for what the finished product will be, whatever that is. But in the meantime, I can start using the freight yard, so that's a big plus. So yeah, I think it's going to be fun in future live streams being able to run trains up and down this line and yeah, start experimenting with the yard itself. But until we figure all that out, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching.